Hey guys, I have an absolutely crazy case study for you guys today where I am going to walk you through exactly how I added $50,000 in monthly profit to this brand's Google Ads in under 3 months. Now, this is an absolutely crazy increase, as you can tell from just the numbers, and I'm going to walk you through it in a second. If you don't know who I am, my name is Max. I run Kraken Digital, where we are a boutique Google Ads agency that focuses on getting you more new customers and making you way more revenue and profit with Google Ads. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to drop a sub down below. Otherwise, I'll get straight into the content. So this is where we started with our brand. They were running 54K per month in spend. This is the same time last year, making only $50,000 in revenue. Now, this is obviously terrible, right? I mean, we're losing almost $4,000 a month, and our ROAS is negative. And that's not even accounting for cost of goods. That's only marketing spend, right? So realistically, we're well in the red from this campaign. This was not me running it. This was in the past, the client running it themselves. And obviously this is not the kind of performance we want to see. We brought this account all the way up to only 15,000 spend and 64,000 generated at a total ROAS of 4.2. This has added over $50,000 of total profit in just this month alone. Although the numbers aren't exactly 50K here, all up, it ends up being, about an additional 50K most months. So a huge amount of increased profit there. And look, if we do account for that negative 4K in there, then we certainly are looking at an extra 50K in profit. So that is a huge increase. As we can see just down here, $40,000 less spend, but $13,000, more revenue. So like realistically, who doesn't want these numbers? We've boosted the ROAS from about a 1 up to a 4.26. So a 3.32 increase in ROAS there, all because of good Google Ads practice, good Google Ads strategies. So I'm sure everyone wants to know exactly how this was achieved. So let's get right into it. Now, when we first came across the account was running with pretty much just one PMAX campaign, nothing else, just one PMAX campaign, ramming at about 50K a month spend, as you saw. Now, needless to say, this is not an effective account structure. And if you do have an account currently that's running with just a single PMAX campaign, I urge you, please make some changes. In fact, make these exact changes and you will probably see a really big performance increase. So, move my camera over here. What I did, instead of running with a singular PMAX campaign, capturing all traffic, mixing branded, non-branded, shopping traffic, display traffic, every kind of traffic imaginable, right? Even YouTube listings. We broke it down into a much more structured account style where we could effectively segregate the traffic and scale up in the right areas. First of all, the most important part in this account was to keep up the revenue that we were achieving from branded without letting it sort of suck into other parts of the campaigns and really inflate ROAS or just ruin the targeting as a whole. So creating a fully specified branded campaign, a branded search campaign, what that allowed us to do was to capture all branded traffic to simplify attribution, as I was saying, so we don't have any branded traffic leaking over in other campaigns, making us think that we're getting really good results when in reality we are not. And it also prevented a PMAX over-reliance on branded traffic. So because PMAX was given no holds barred, do whatever it likes, it tends to go off and find the easiest wins possible. As being Google's sort of baby and being a bit of a black box as well, Google wants to get the best results possible in your PMAX campaigns, and it will do that even if it's in a dishonest and, quite frankly, unhelpful way. So in a lot of cases, PMAX will simply go out and prospect for branded traffic and remarketing traffic unless you tell it otherwise. So having this branded campaign just allowed for the account to have a very clear location for all of the branded traffic to be driven to and prevent it from driving to PMAX on such a enormous level and such a great reliance. And with that branded campaign, we are now generating a 13.9 ROAS, which is really good to see. As you'd expect on a branded campaign, very high ROAS, very good returns, and that's scaled up to over $100, $200 a day spent. So definitely getting a very significant amount of traffic coming through at a very high return. And it is important in this account to be capturing the branded traffic, because we do have some sneaky competitors who are trying to steal our own traffic on our branded terms. So it is quite a useful campaign, despite the fact that it does have a higher spend. It absolutely serves a very important purpose. The next campaign, which is now the greatest spend in the account and probably the most important campaign right now, is the non-branded PMAX campaign. So this is now a PMAX that we have transitioned into a mainly prospecting and shopping listing campaign. So it allows us to put all of our products out there while still using PMAX's algorithm utilizing features, right? So we still get to make the most of all of PMAX's targeting and maximize its sort of AI targeting, I guess, if you will, without having to waste all of our clicks on branded and remarketing traffic. Now, this PMAX campaign captured all the demand for our individual products. Now, because this is a really big store, it has a lot of products, but all of which have relatively similar levels of demand. By the way, I was going to outline earlier, this is a golf product store. So not typical golf clubs, etc., but we'll get into that later. In any case, this PMAX campaign turned out to be sufficient for actually gathering all the demand we needed for all those products. Even though there are so many products, there are quite a few which really don't get a lot of attention through Google, and that's expected because there just isn't the demand for those in comparison to other products. We have segregated according to asset groups based on specific products, but for the most part, the big lesson here is just having a PMAX campaign where you can show your shopping listings without being dominated by completely branded traffic. So that is what we're using to capture most of the shopping traffic and shopping ads coming through right now. And like I said here, essentially acts as a larger shopping campaign. So just a bigger way to bring in all of those, that shopping traffic and capitalize on it. Then we have a non-branded general search campaign. Now, while the obviously shopping listings and in the PMAX campaign before are very useful for capturing intent on specific products, so very specific product names and product features, the non-branded search is designed more for a wide range of, I guess, categories, you could say, right? So we have searches focusing on specific categories, which are going to drive more general traffic to our store, yet still high intent traffic. So for example, let's fix that up. For example, the general searches that would trigger, right? Although, like I said, we're not selling golf clubs or golf shirts. These are good examples of general terms you'd be targeting in a search campaign for an e-commerce store. Now, because you have broader categories which contain items which people are searching for, they're just not entirely sure what item they want, right? So people might be searching for golf clubs. Realistically, if you have a shopping listing there with a very specific golf club, it's less likely to receive a click, to receive a purchase, than a more generalized listing that says, browse golf clubs here, top sales, 5-star reviews, etc., etc. So that is why we use our non-branded search campaigns to capture more general traffic and still do so at a very high rate of efficiency, sitting at a 2.64 ROAS at a pretty high spend per day. And also our PMAX campaign is sitting at about a 3.28 ROAS with, again, very high spend. The break-even ROAS in this count, I think, sits at around 1.5. So we're certainly well beyond that, generating really, really good revenue numbers right now and really good profit margins for the brand. Now, finally, a sort of less likely but very well-performing campaign in this account is the competitor campaign. Now, I'm actually a big proponent for competitor campaigns. I know a lot of people dislike them and a lot of people refuse to use them, but I think it's a bit silly, to be honest, because I think in a lot of scenarios they can produce really great results, especially when it comes to adding LTV to your store and just adding additional customers to your store, right? So what this allows us to do is capitalize on our competitors with inferior products, right? So there are a few competitors out there in the market who sell similar things to us, but they just aren't the same quality level. They don't have the same range or the same availability. So for that reason, we want to be triggering on their searches so we can show the audience, hey, look, there's a better option for you to purchase from. It's us. So you should be coming over here and purchasing from us instead. Now, what this does is when we do get those customers who previously maybe have not even considered us, didn't even know we existed, we've brought them from having absolutely no knowledge about us to having a very high familiarity with us and potentially even purchasing from us. So for that reason, we can afford to have a slightly lower ROAS on competitor first purchase value, because when we get that first purchase from this customer who previously wasn't even buying from our brand, they've now bought from us, they've now subscribed into our brand's ecosystem, and they're more likely to purchase again from us in the future. So that it brings in an entire stream of lifetime revenue and lifetime value that otherwise would have been completely untapped and unutilized if they had have gone to the competitor's website. So I love competitor campaigns when they're done right, of course. And this one is certainly going very well, setting about 2.5 ROAS, well above profitability, bringing in brand new people to our store. And the other benefit here is this is all first purchase ROAS that we're seeing. These customers very often are purchasing follow-up products, additional products after entering the ecosystem, being exposed to email marketing, being exposed to remarketing, all those kinds of good stuff. And we are certainly turning a very high profit on Google Ads, well beyond even the numbers registered in here. When we do account for those, that whole LTV of the customer, we're more than likely generating hundreds of thousands per month in lifetime value, which is really good. And overall, we are sitting at about a 4.26 ROAS in the account, which is great, at a 15K spend. Now, unfortunately, we are a bit capped with spend right now because we are in the off season for golf, or we're certainly getting close to the off season for golf in the US. It's really trending down. But for that reason, we need to really focus on efficiency. And efficiency really was the name of the game in this case study. It was a matter of not only increasing revenue, but decreasing spend at the same time, because that spend was so inflated for the results that were being produced. We managed to push that spend down by a factor of about 4 and then increase the revenue at the same time, which really was a phenomenal result for us, a factor of 3 rather. But that is everything I have for you guys today. Once again, a fantastic case study and awesome result from us over here at Kraken Digital. So if you have some Google Ads that you need some help with, if you want some pointers, or if you're just completely overwhelmed and want someone to do it for you, feel free to book a call with me in the link below. I'm more than happy to jump on, give you a free audit, free strategy plan, have a chat and let you know where I think your brand stands with Google Ads, and potentially find a whole lot more value and revenue for your brand in that call. That's all from me today. And if you want more great Google Ads content like this, please drop a sub down below. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.